And welcome to the 6th episode of Mixed Media Reviews Season 5. My name is Kelsey, and today I'm going to be talking about a movie. This week's movie is The Merry Gentleman on Netflix. So Netflix is currently pumping out all of the, Hallmarky Christmas movies right now. I saw this one pop up with Chad Michael Murray in it and knew that I'd watch it eventually. Well, Friday night came around, and it was kind of late, but not late enough to go to bed. So I looked at my homepage on Netflix and saw The Merry Gentleman was the shortest of the new movies out and decided that its time had come. I would watch it, and I did. The Merry Gentleman, according to Google, is about the following. To save her parents' small-town nightclub, a Broadway dancer stages an all-male Christmas-themed revue and meets a guy with all the right moves. It's got all the buzzwords. It's got small-town, Christmas, and all-male. I don't know. Also, I don't even know if I agree with the fact that they call it a nightclub. I mean, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, we'll move on. So I will say for a Netflix Hallmarky Christmas movie, this was fine. Not great, but it was fine. It was fine. I do love that they referenced other Netflix Hallmarky Christmas movies, though. They did make them both fiction and real, so that was a little bit confusing, and I'm not actually sure what that means at the end of the day. The first reference was to A Christmas Prince, the one with Rose McIver, who is, in iZombie and is currently in Ghosts. The second was the Princess Switch with Vanessa Hudgens of, of course, High School Musical fame. They're in an article about visiting the nightclub, and it's like on the wall in the nightclub. But let's also remember that in the Princess Switch 2, we get a tie-in to A Christmas Prince. So in those movies, they're both real. So I don't really know what it means for her to be watching. Oh, I didn't even say what it was. So in the beginning of the movie, Ashley, the main character, is watching the movie of A Christmas Prince. So she's watching a movie of The Christmas Prince, but the Princess Switch is real, and they visited the nightclub. I don't know what it means, and maybe this is probably going to pop up later in the critique section, because, maybe pick a lane, guys. Is it real or is it not real? I will say that I did like the cast. Not only do we have, of course, Chad Michael Murray, who plays Luke, which is basically Lucas, so maybe this is also set in the One Tree Hill universe, though there seems to be a lack of basketball for that to be a fact. But we also have Beth Broderick, who played Zelda Spellman as the mom, and we have Michael Gross, who played Bert in all the Tremors movies. And probably you've seen him in other things, but that's really what I know him from, is the Tremors movies. And he plays the dad. And then there's also Maria Canals Barrera, I think, who played the mom in Wizards of Waverly Place. She is the landlord in this movie. And if you watched the Wolfpack show that was on Paramount Plus, Bella Shepherd, who played Blake, is in the movie for 10 seconds. And I think she was also in iCarly or something as well. But it's fine. So the overall cast was pretty good. The people that they picked. So I liked that. So just some random things that I also liked that happened is that, so in the beginning of the film, she gets fired from her job, and that's why she ends up going home. And I like that she told her parents immediately, because they kind of ended it they were like, oh, we're going to come see you. And then she was like, actually, I will come home. And then the next scene is her there, and they're talking about it. So I'm glad that it didn't become this whole thing that she was hiding from them. And it was just, that's what she came home because she was fired. And that was nice. They weren't, injecting ridiculous drama that didn't need to be drama. What else? So at one point she's talking to Luke about going up on stage, and he's all anxious about it. And I think the advice that she gives him is pretty solid. She's basically just look for a friendly face in the crowd and just focus on our energy and use it to fuel your own performance. And I thought that was a very nice bit of advice. And I think that's, I feel like I could even use that. Not that I'd perform, but I do talk to people in front of other people at times, like with meetings and presentations and things. So I thought that was solid advice, that was very nice. And lastly, I'll say that there were bloopers at the end of the movie, and if you know anything about me, it's that I love bloopers. You may not know my name or who I am or what I ate for dinner last night, but you know I love a good blooper reel at the end of a movie. I don't know why you know that about me, and you don't know my name. That might be a little weird, but you know that as a solid fact. I think that's it. Well, okay, the acting wasn't horrible. I mean, I think it's supposed to be pretty cheesy acting anyway. It's not supposed to be something really good, so I think it's fine. The overall story is a little weird, but it's also fine. You know, it's a Netflix romance Christmas movie, and that's all you need to really know. Well, okay, maybe not all you need to know, because I do have some critiques, and it would be nice if you kept listening. I already mentioned the references to other Netflix romance Christmas movies. God, there's got to be a shortened way to say that, but it's fine. And, you know, the reference to the other movies and how they're both real and also not real, and how, like, that was confusing. Like, I like the references, but maybe decide if they're going to be fictional or not, unless what she was watching was supposed to be, like, not the movie, but it was legit the movie. So, I don't know. There's this part where the main character, Ashley, and her mom are baking this Christmas treat thing. And honestly, it's really funny. So I don't even know if it should be a critique, but I'm shoving it in the critiques anyway. But you're watching them bake it, and you 100% know deep inside of your heart that whatever they're making on screen will absolutely not be the finished product at all. Like, it's so bad. Like, I don't know who was watching them make that and decided, yes, let's just let them make it, and then we'll cut to a better version of it later, instead of just having other hands make it. Right? It's pretty bad. Watching all those British Bake Offs, you know for a fact that's not how you roll your little sheet cake thing to make those little roly-poly cake things. You may not know the name of them, but you know that's not how you make them. So what else? So Ashley is in this, like, Broadway show called The Jingle Bells, Belles. And I guess it's supposed to be, like, her dream, she, like, since she was a kid, to be in it. But I'm still a little confused, I guess, about what it actually is. They say she's been in it for, like, 12 years, but it's also obviously a Christmas show, and they show it, you know, her dancing to it in the beginning, and it's very Christmassy. So is it a seasonal show? Is she in some other show the rest of the year, or does it transform into different things depending on the season? They don't really get into it, and I don't know enough about dancing to understand the details of how you get jobs, and if most jobs are just seasonal, or what what is happening. And maybe overall, in this grand scheme of things, it's not really important to know so much. It is just a Christmas movie. But if she was fired from this job, which later, and this is definitely going to be a spoiler, she gets offered a 3-year contract, then does she not have another job to supplement her only Christmas season job for the next 3 years? Or is it literally she gets paid so much that she only has to dance during Christmas season? Again, it could not be probably less important to know, but I could not stop trying to figure out what was happening in her life and what her job was, and how I assume she lived in New York, and that's the big city she's from, but I don't know. Someone explain it, because I don't get it. And then, of course, at the end of the movie, there's the drama bit of, you know, the reason why we're here. And that's, again, her getting offered her job back, and she decides to take it, and she leaves the boys to, you know, strip on stage without their choreographer. And the amount of anger that Luke feels towards Ashley, I think, is a bit much. I mean, he's not, like, overtly furious and, like, physically angry or something, But he's still like super upset with her for choosing her, real world paying job that was a dream of hers to have over him, a guy she's known for like maybe a couple weeks or something. And this whole like, you showed me who you really are, and city girls are all the same. Which, side note, we find out he's a city dude from Chi-Town, which is Chicago. So like, who the heck is he to be all high and mighty like about city people? But yeah, it's all a bit much. Like, what do you mean she showed you who you really are? Like, she was just getting a job. She got her job back. Shouldn't you be excited for her? And it's literally the last night. So it's not like she started it and then was leaving before they even really were like partway through trying to earn the money back or whatever. They're basically done anyway. They didn't actually need her anymore because they already had learned the I just want to say calligraphy. Choreography. Obviously not a dancer. But yeah, so like they were basically done. What did they need her for anyway? Except for, I guess, moral support. His friendly face with leaving her or leaving him. Like, get over yourself, dude. People have hopes and dreams, and that's fine. It's okay to want something else in life, especially over a dude you barely know. But I think that's really the biggest problem that I have for the film. Is basically everything in this entire film is so incredibly easy from the very start. The kindling of their relationship, I mean, obviously it's like a little meet cute thing, but it was just like too easy for them to get together, I guess. The idea for the dance review seemed, of course, very fabricated. Being able to find the dude she needed also was like, she didn't even really have a conversation with any of them except for the one dude. Like, where were the conversation with the other people? She just showed up with 3 dudes, 4 dudes, 3 dudes, however many dudes, and she was just able to find them easily in this small town, and they all were just apparently great at dancing because they didn't really struggle at all. And it was easy to get the money to save the nightclub. Like, there was never, like, they got the money the first night, and she was like, yeah, this is totally doable. And then it was totally doable, and it seemed like it wasn't even that much money. That they, like, there's no issue of, like, oh, God, we got to raise so much this last night because we didn't make enough yet or something. It was like, yeah, that seems on par for what we've raised the rest of the nights. So, okay. It was just all very easy. And then when the drama of her getting this other job happens, it lasts for like a day. Like, she finds out and she's supposed to leave, I think, the next day for the job. But from Luke's perspective, it's really like an hour because she told him about it like right before the show started. So the drama that happens feels even more manufactured because it's so like, like she just got in the car and she didn't even get to the airport, I don't think. So it's like, okay, that's fine. And there's just no other issues like the entire time until that one little bit. And then it's also just, again, like solved super quickly by being like, I'm over it. I don't really need that job. That was my dream. But, and maybe it could be saved, but then when she comes back, she's just like, I couldn't get on the plane because I felt bad that I pulled you into this, but didn't stay, and I didn't handle it right, and I should have told you first about the job. And I'm like, really? You didn't come back because you just also realized that you really enjoyed, choreographing the dudes dancing, and that you realized your dream to be a dancer has, like, shifted, and you've really enjoyed teaching? And also because you wanted to be with him, like it's only because of him that you didn't take your dream job. And it's like, it's not like she found out weeks before that she got this job and she had to make this decision. She found out the day before, and then she was still kind of thinking about accepting the job for a bit. So she kind of did tell him as soon as possible. And why would he have to be the first? It was just very frustrating. It did not feel like a good, solid movie about, women. It was just, I don't know. It didn't need to be anything else, but it was just annoying that she came back just for him and was all like, I'm sorry, I'm the worst, when really he kind of overreacted a bit. And she should have had a better reason for staying than just him. Also, last thing I want to say is that Britt Robertson, who plays Ashley, she wears a wig in this, and it's such an incredibly obvious wig. The way they style it, the way that it looks, it's just 100% a wig. And I guess she has short hair in real life, and that's why she's wearing the wig, but I'm not sure why her having short hair should matter. Like, just let her have the short hair in the movie then. It's okay for women to have short hair. Unless there was some issue with the hair during the filming, or she cut it or something, but it did not look real at any point. So I am pretty sure she just has had this shorter hair. So either get an actress with longer hair or just let her have her short hair. I don't get it. Why would make her wear a wig that looks very obviously like a wig? I don't know. That's just my opinion, I guess. Let her have short hair. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you're watching this movie at all, it's probably because you just want that kind of movie where it's got romance, Christmas, and I assume hot dudes. And if that's the case, then this movie does, I think, check off all three of those boxes. But if you're looking for a deep and meaningful movie with touching storylines and phenomenal acting and a soundtrack that will bring you to tears, then obviously this isn't the movie for you. Why would you even think that it could possibly be that for you? So watch this movie if you want a vaguely okay movie that has romance, Christmas, and dudes who take off their shirts. Because, again, this is that movie. And in all fairness, it is a movie. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on The Merry Gentleman on Netflix. Thank you so much for joining me. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr at Mixed Media Reviews Podcast. Please leave me a comment to let me know if you agreed with my take on the movie, or if you disagreed, maybe you hated it or loved it. I feel like I was fairly neutral about it. Or if you have suggestions of what you want me to read or watch next. You can also find me anywhere you find your podcasts, probably, though using Spotify would be very helpful so I can get ads back, or monetize it, because I can't anymore. But that's fine. Please join me next week where I will be reviewing a book, and I am hoping I can finish writing up all my thoughts on Zodiac Academy, but I have so many thoughts and so little time. So I might just review another book if that still doesn't happen. Yeah, have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye!